In this video, I will cover the great end of the Eastern Roman Empire. I'll cover the 1453 siege of Constantinople and the central event of today's video, the death of Constantine XI Palaiologos. If you enjoy these videos, you can subscribe, and if you hate these videos, then I'm not entirely sure why you're watching. But anyway, let's begin. It was 1453, and what had been the heart of the great Roman civilization and Orthodox Christendom for centuries was under threat from Sultan Mehmed II of the Ottoman Empire, determined to conquer the glorious city and make it the capital of the rising Ottoman Empire, and break the walls that had kept the great might of Islam out of Europe for so long. That is the position that will be central to this story, described in a really poetical manner. Poetry aside, I'll explain some of the historical facts and context behind this final event, starting with a vague outline of how the Ottomans had got themselves in a position to be able to lay siege to Constantinople in 1453, and how the Eastern Roman Empire had fallen into decline. The Eastern Roman Empire's decline had really begun at the Battle of Manzikert, when Seljuk Sultan Alp Arslan crushed an Eastern Roman force under Romanos Diogenes. In the years after this pivotal battle, Seljuk forces overran Anatolia, which is modern-day Turkey, before the Eastern Romans were finally able to slow their advance before all of Anatolia fell. In this land, the Sultanate of Rum would emerge, and it was from this that the Ottomans eventually came, gaining power and eventually gaining freedom from the Sultanate of Rum. They then swept many Eastern Roman holdings out of Roman hands, venturing far into Europe and making Edirne their capital. This then is a very fast description of how the Ottomans gained power and the Eastern Romans lost power. After the Ottomans conquered large amounts of Europe, Constantinople was cut off from other kingdoms that used to surround it by the Ottoman Empire, which encircled the remnant in Constantinople. The Ottomans attempted to take this city many times, but failed repeatedly due to the very strong Theodosian walls, built unsurprisingly by Theodosius. That was under other Ottoman rulers, though, and now Mehmed II came to power, and his greatest aim was to conquer the city for his growing empire. Other Ottoman leaders before him had failed, but he had two things they did not: complete determination to take the city, and, perhaps more importantly, some cannons. So, this is the position we found ourselves in at the start of the video. Constantinople is besieged. The Ottomans have finally broken the walls with the help of their cannons. The legendary mercenary Giustiniani is dead, and the final remnant of Rome is certain to be destroyed. Only one question remains. Will the Basileus himself, Constantine XI Palaiologos, flee from the battle like a ruler of his status normally would? The answer should be obvious enough after making a video called The Death of Constantine XI Palaiologos. He doesn't flee. Instead, he takes off his imperial robes and puts instead the armor of a soldier on, before running into the city to lead his men in a desperate last stand. His men, probably not even knowing that he is the emperor on account of his clothing and the strains of battle, follow him, and Constantine XI dies, not of old age in Europe as he could have chosen, and as many in his position would have chosen, but by his soldiers, dying as so many of them had for him. This is, in my opinion, such a remarkable story, because Constantine could have easily lived and fled, but he chose the same fate as the soldiers under his command. This story is amazing in my opinion, because it brings out the quality of leadership and sacrifice in a desperate moment. Anyway, this has been my video on Constantine XI Palaiologos' last stand. Before I finish this video, I do want to recognise the fact that Mehmed was also a very skilled leader of the Ottoman Empire. I feel like he deserves a bit of credit in this video too. After all, he was the victor. Anyways, there will be more videos coming very soon. For now, Walete et Ave SPQR.